It's 3 days grace once said, let's start a riot and teabag. My God, start at the almighty riot. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. Now, you could argue it was Michael in the AC, but it was Theodore Bagwell. It was big pedo briefs. I mean, the guy that literally is a pedo, the guy that literally is a rapist, the guy that planned on bumming Abraham Ford in Michael's cell in this episode. He's the one that started it, isn't he?
Absolutely. Michael was too busy trying to break out of prison, but some of the other prison inmates, they're trying to break in. You've got Fedor trying to get comfortable with Michael Cudlitz, and then you've got a couple of prisoners trying to break into the doctor's office. Meanwhile, Michael's just trying to... He's focusing on getting out, but these guys are focusing on getting in.
It's all about getting in, boy. But, I mean, what was worse? What Negan did to him, or what Teabag was going to do to him? Probably what Teabag was going to do to him, to be fair. But anyway, beginning...
I'd argue what Negan done to him, considering he had no head left after what fucking Negan done to him.
Aye, but he was probably going to get bummed by about 50 guys.
Nah, they'd have saved him after a couple, like...
Oh, after a couple, like, that's alright. At least Abraham went out on his sword. This guy would have got sword to death. And you're talking about that would have been alright. Alright, Michael Cutlass. Right, anyway...
I like to live to fight another day. And Abraham didn't get that chance.
I don't think he'd be able to sit down, for fuck's sake. Right, anyway, episode begins. Kelvin rings... Well, doesn't ring this guy. They rock up to this, like, fun fair, and he's like, here, we've put heroin in your truck if you don't do what we do. What we want you to do.
These two are corrupt as hell.
I know. I mean,
they're just literally going around forcing people, blackmailing people to do whatever they want.
Yep. This guy gives a phone call to some guy inside. And then, essentially, he agrees to kill Lincoln Burrows. So, Lincoln... He's got a target on his back. Michael points out, in order to keep this digging job and the breakout on schedule, he needs to do more digging. But, in order to do more digging, he can't be caught, because he keeps needing to come back for count. Sucre's like, well, guess what, son? There's only 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and count. And Michael's like, well, how could we stop count? He's like, lockdown. Not TNA, not 6 sides of steel, just... get them to lock it down. So what they do is they destroy the AC, and pretty much immediately the prisoners lose the plot. Now, I don't know about you. You can maybe argue it's a plot hole, right? But riots do happen. What about, like, good behaviour? Why would you partake in a riot if you want it? Because surely this is adding years.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they can't monitor every kill, every crime, everything that goes on.
Well, so is this lockdown thing not about... maybe the lives of the inmates aren't so important here, but it doesn't seem like a good... Oh, you know what? They're causing mayhem. They're causing riots. They're all out their cells. We'll just lock them in for 24 hours. Like, see when they go back in 24 hours' time, are they not expecting some serious casualties here? Or, if not worse.
Yeah, it's because...
No, but hold on. Like, see if you leave a bunch of violent inmates who are upset and angry and warm and, like, no air conditioning and are being and they're aggressive, and you leave them all out of their cells with no officers and no authority. I mean, like, is it not common sense
but
that
see,
bad shit's going to happen?
Pope is the warden, but Jerry was the guy that gave the call for the lockdown, which I think's immediately wrong, because, like, what, shouldn't the warden do it?
Why can't he lift the lockdown, though?
I mean, it was too late, though. But anyway, essentially, it gets too warm. Teabag steps out of line.
Alright, but what happens in 24 hours, though? I mean, they've got to go in at some point and restore things, don't they?
Yeah, so
why can't they just do it 23 hours earlier?
Because they were running a bit like madmen, weren't they? They didn't know what to do.
So they're going to be calmed down. They're going to be back to... They're going to be their civilized self.
It's about limiting casualties. Bellick pointed out that they'll tire themselves out and they'll be too warm and they'll have to relax, but we quickly seen that wasn't really the problem. But Teabag steps out of line. Jerry's like, come on, Teabag, don't be a baby. It's not that hot. Not that hot. When this guy woke up this morning, he was white, and he points to the darkest guy in the fucking prison, which is pretty funny. I guess a cheap pop of everybody black, brown,
It had to
white.
have fucking woke up on the sun or something, like, for that to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, but anyway, it was great line. Everyone's chuckling away. Jerry then just throws the cup of water over Teabag's, like, cool off. This then starts the big riot, so they get locked out. Bellick comes in. Teabag says, what do you call a guy that failed the cops exam and makes less than a mailman? a CO. Everyone's chuckling away, pissing themselves at Bellic. And then Bellic's like, well, I looked into your wee history, Teabag. Your daddy raped your mongoloid sister, and 9 months later, you popped out. And it's like, you thought Teabag got him? Bellic was on double one, and he's fucking hit it with a blindfold on. And this sends Teabag over the edge. He's going fucking ballistic.
Just loses it.
Loses it. Everyone's losing it. Bellic's pissing himself laughing, but they quickly realise, holy fuck, the hinges aren't lasting here. So then they bail, but the stupid dick CEO guy leaves his keys in that room.
What a dumbass.
So they get in, Teabag's like shaking the keys at the camera. But it's like, this is my point here. It's like, Teabag's already in for killing and raping teenagers.
What can he really do that's gonna... Is he not in here for lick? But then again, why is he in here for so long and Michael's brother is...
Because that's corrupt though.
No, that's true.
They want him dealt with. Vice President. He killed the Vice President.
Yeah, what does Teabag need to do in order to get moved up the pecking order?
Yeah, what was he the Vice President of? What shot, huh? The actual Vice President, brother. Michael and Sucre, so they go to the hole where Michael needs to drill. He basically gets like the, what do you call that paper? Tracing paper. It's tattoo. Projects it onto a wall. Sucre's like, oh, I can't dig, senor. No, this is bad karma. I believe in God. Michael's like, well, guess what? If you fuck up, you'll hit a gas pipe and we all die. Sucre's like, but your meth is good, right? See? So yeah, it's going to have to be good or else you're dead. Lincoln is visited by Nick. Veronica rocks up, like, here, Nick, what you doing? You prick, because we weren't really on the best of terms last episode. He's like, here, I found new evidence. They talk a wee bit about it. Then it goes into lockdown during their conversation, so those two leave. They go to this guy who's good with cameras, some fucking nerd. Guy's like, here, your eyes play tricks on you, but your ears don't. That gunshot did not go off in that parking lot. So that proves that Lincoln didn't actually pull the trigger and that the recording was somewhere else. Now, you would assume that these guys, considering their government, they would have all their bases covered, so to speak, but they've dropped the ball here. But this guy's like, I'm only going to testify if you can get a bit more proof. Which is fair enough, because these guys are corrupt, and if this guy agrees to testify...
Yeah, anything could happen to him.
He could die.
Even if they get proof and he testifies, they could still kill him or something
he'll
like
get dropped by Kellerman or something, so that's all going down. Michael Cutlass, he's transporting Lincoln back to... like,
Michael Cutlass looked weird in this scene, The Walking Dead. As Abraham, he kind of looks like a tall... Maybe The Walking Dead's just got a small...
Could be.
Maybe short-wise, height-wise, the characters are short, but I don't know. Abraham, The Walking Dead, looked like this big, tall man-mountain of a man. In this, he looks like a wee chubby guy, but then again, there is like about 10 years. I mean, maybe almost a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade. Well, probably a bit less than a decade, but I mean,
shitload of years.
Lincoln says to him, because he apologises, Lincoln like, don't apologise, makes you look weak, and it's so true. It's like a guard should never be apologising to an inmate. It is weak. And you're going to get stepped on over the top of you with that push. So he's getting transported back, but then Teabag with a bunch of other guys, his like white supremacist crew, it's like, look, Link the Sink with a rookie CEO. It's my lucky day, boys. Lincoln then asks Michael Cutlass to uncuff him. He uncuffs him. He uncuffs himself, essentially. Then we get this like generic 2000s music as Lincoln starts like battering the fuck out like the white supremacist, but then eventually Teabag with the defining blow to the back of Lincoln's head incapacitates him, and then they get Michael Cutlass. Where are they taking Michael Cutlass, brother? Who the fuck knows? Meanwhile, Michael returns to the cells. He looks through a camera and he spots that Sarah Tancredi is getting confronted in the sickbay. Now, to be fair to Bellic, he did tell her, this is not safe. You should probably leave. And she's like, oh, it's my duty of care to take care of the prisoners. See this goody two-shoes act? It gets you fucking nowhere. See, Pope's the same, she's the same, and there's a few other people the same. People are in prison for a reason.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, 90% of them are, right? Obviously, you get a good few eggs. Some of them are wrongly accused, or maybe some do misdemeanors, right? But the fact of the matter is this. They're savages.
Yeah, no,
and some amount of time doesn't... what's that word? Fucking... What's that big word? I know you know, big man.
Rehabilitate?
That's the word. Completely lost my head there.
Anyway, no,
you know what I mean? No, that doesn't.
But this is a bit strange because it literally, from what we've seen here, now, I mean, I guess you could say, well, you're wrong to assume their intentions. But it literally looked like every inmate that was
In that sick
getting
bay.
medical help or whatever was in that room. It literally looked like they were all desperate to break through and rape this woman.
Yep.
Now here, people are going, oh well, they're filing and they've been in jail and they've not had a female touch and all that stuff for a lot. But I don't know, you kind of would just think that there'd be like one or two that would be like, oh, hold on guys, this is wrong, what are you doing?
No, it's absolutely insane that every single one of them would do it. But again,
They were like fucking haywire. They were like haywiring. Their wires got crossed, and they were just hell bent on
she
getting
puts up a good fight, manages to drug a couple of them. And Michael sees this, he's like, "Fuck, I've got to get to her." But we then also have the issue of teabag with Michael Cutlass, because he's trying to bum him. He's like, "I'm going to find a cell to bum you." Essentially, he throws him into Michael's cell. Big Michael Cutlass like hits the toilet, and it falls over. Teabag's about to shout, "They're escaping!" But then Big John Abruzzi just sticks his fucking his calzones right over his fucking mouth.
I don't know how I feel about this, because I kind of liked it when it was a shorter escape crew. But now
well, I don't think Michael Cutlass is fucking joining the crew.
No, I know, but now he knows about it, and now Teabag is he's essentially like, well, if you want to buy my silence, you need to get me out with you.
If you stab me, I will sing like Johnny Cash.
So yeah, I mean this it's getting bigger, the crew.
It's getting bigger. Michael's obviously in panic mode here, but the problem is you can't trust Teabag. I mean,
you can't trust the cop, can you?
Well, yeah, I think Teabag's right here, right? He is a big dirty rapist, but at the end of the day, I think the guard has to go.
Yeah, although maybe you could argue that the guard would be loyal to Michael since he saved his life, but the reality is
Abruzzi can't take that risk. Michael can't take that. None of them can take that risk.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, this guard, as soon as he gets to safety, he's like, "Well, guys, they've got a tunnel."
Yeah, no, literally. I mean, I think
not even to screw them over, but just to protect himself. Because if it ever got found out he knew, I think he would be liable. So.
I think the best case scenario is that they tie him up outside of the they take him through that hole and tie him up for like 3 days, and like, right, we're going to keep you hostage for 3 days, but once we're out of here, even though it's going to take longer than 3 days, it's like that's the only way you could keep him alive, honestly, because we'll find it next episode, like what they're going to do. But I genuinely think you have to kill him. As sad as it is, it's like you can't take that risk. And if Teabag, Abruzzi's not going to take that risk. But at the end of the day, it's like, how dirty are you willing to get your brother out of jail? This isn't what Michael planned.
I don't think Michael's killing this guy, but Abruzzi and Teabag on the other hand.
It's a weird fucking partnership, Abruzzi and Teabag.
Well, I mean, I think Teabag would have fucking maybe killed the guy after he was done with him anyway. And Abruzzi, like, I don't think Abruzzi necessarily would take pleasure in doing it, but I don't think he's the guy that would have any second thoughts about it either if it's going to jeopardise his escape plan.
Yeah, so
Abruzzi seems like the kind of guy that would make hard calls.
Well,
maybe not even hard call. He just do what he needs to do. Like,
where's the boss? Like the Abruzzi family.
It wouldn't be the first person he's killed, is it?
No, it wouldn't be. Anyway, though, that's pretty much the episode. I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it, man. Yeah, I think this is part 1 of 2. I think easily the best episode so far. A lot happening. And I remember watching this for the first time, and I was thinking, fuck, they're going pretty big here.
I just don't know why they had to label it part 1 of 2. Like, why not just have it be an episode, and the next episode can just continue over? And feels a bit strange labeling this part 1 of 2.
True, I don't really know why. I assumed it was like maybe like the halfway point of the first half of the season, but once you start splitting a season into quarters, man, you're kind of all over the place. Anyway, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was, in terms, I mean,
I'll get a 9 as well. It's very exciting, a lot happening, and obviously more people finding about the hole in the toilet as well.
I think Prison Break, I've always said it's probably my favourite season 1 of a show ever. I think you'll struggle to see a show that's quickly established characters with this quickly. I think most shows 6 episodes in are struggling to really establish people. But I feel like this show's done that. Like, yeah. Like you know most people's names. There's not really people. Like, I know I'm calling him Michael Cutlass, but I don't think the guard's name's really relevant. He's just some guy. So
I believe this is his debut.
No, it is. I know it is,
Yeah,
but I'm
so-
just saying it's not like he's massively relevant. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. 9 out of 10. We're back for part 2 very soon.